Hello, welcome to this week's VLR and my little friend. Cue the metal. This week, other than talking very close into the camera because it's quite late at night and everybody is asleep, I'm going to be building, or at least planning and building, the electric, what used to be called the pie train, and is now going to be called, probably still the pie train, even though it's not going to be controlled by a Raspberry Pi. This man, who's not named yet, is going to be the driver of the pie train. And this is his train. Now, so far on the railway, I have the tram and I have the steam engine. So what I needed is what I thought in my head was like a little kind of engineer's truck that someone who maintained the railway would drive around in. So that being the case, I took the idea of a little flatbed truck that would that would pull some carriages. So to that end, I have done this to start with. Now, I have turned what is in my brain into some drawings on this piece of paper, which look like this. It's very clever. I'm not very good at design things, but it's pretty much just a lot of rectangles. I'm going to cut these out, and then I'm going to transfer these onto some plasticard that I bought, which is here. And then chop them out. And then hopefully they will kind of glue together. And you'll see sort of what I'm doing to cue not you watching me cut the card, because that would be boring. So now the next thing you'll see is all the card cut out. So as if by magic, abracadabra, everything is cut. So there'll be two of these, one each side. That's the front going that way, that's the rear going that way, that's the roof going that way, and that's the cab rear going that way. So effectively becomes an L shape with the back, a front, a lid, and a back to the cabin, and this will be open so as you can get to the bits and pieces in the middle. It will also mean that the little speedo thing, if I decide to put it on, I'll use also, I should show you in this box, is this little LED. Now this I salvaged out of one of those $5 solar powered pathway lights, which this is just the section that runs off the AAA or AA battery. So somehow I'm going to wire that up to be powered from this battery pack too. So as this thing goes, it will also have a little light probably in the front center of the cabin. So it goes around, it will light up the front. Now, let's try and cut the plastic card. So that, I think, will be the best use of the plastic card. That goes continuously across. This should be the same height as that. That fits there. And this is a little one out on its own. So the next thing is to mark this all up with the Sharpie and to cut it out. And then hopefully this will fit there for the other side. Excellent. Now, before we get too far into this week's video, can you please all stop what you're doing right now? Have you stopped? There's a little like button down there and a subscribe button somewhere. Can you just go and click both of them right now? It's nearer, the more and nearer I get to 1,000 subscribers, the more fun things I can do, like make videos longer than 15 minutes or do live streams, all exciting stuff. So please stop right now, like, subscribe. Okay, good, thanks for doing that. Now let's get on to the hot train making content. It's pretty easy to cut. A pair of communal kitchen scissors and a bit of this thing for the longer edges, which just need little slicey and then snappies, and we're away. So 2 sides, the rear, the cab rear, cab roof, and the front. So this is all the pieces. Now, how do we glue it all together? This is the thing. So I'm guessing super glue would do it. What do we think? Super glue? Do we even care about this? Do you even want to see this? Or should we just cut to actually all glued together? Who knows? Maybe this is where we do the montage. As you probably saw from that time lapse, cutting and sticking in generally arts and crafts is not really my strong point, although it has come together quite well, although there was a little cheeky extra bit I did after the time lapse, which has ended up with the train looking like this, because I realised that once the man was in the carriage, like so, which you can't see because it's fallen over, when the sides are on, you couldn't really see him. So I have chopped you see what I'm getting at, and all being right with the world. Stick on there, you bastards. Add a little bit. This stuff is lethal. I mean, not lethal like a bullet is lethal. Lethal to your fingers. I'm picking it off for days. So there we have. The very, very, very rough beginnings of a railway maintenance truck. I'm in the very glamorous location of my utility space. Look, there's a sink. Orchids, they only ever flower once. You can never get them to flower again. A bell jar thing, I did have plants in, but they all died, so I'm trying to regrow with cuttings from the middle of the train. Look. In 2 little sets of cuttings. One is doing better than the other. Anyway, I have done a few things. Number 1, you can't really see, but I have trimmed down the see it there actually. Made the edges a bit straighter, trimmed some of the rough bits off, and have put a hole in the front. A hole, you say? What for, you say? Well, look, I say. That's right. The wiring is done, and it now looks something like this. Oh, riveting, riveting, riveting. There you go. So now when it's on, it does this. Yes, I think we should give this a go. Outside. Hold on, let's go outside. This is really not going to work on the GoPro. But anyway, let's see. I'm going to turn the train on, like so. Success. It goes round. The track is very cold and very wet, so the little plastic wheels are not getting that much grip. So perhaps it needs to have a little less weight on it, or a little more weight on the front rather than on the back, because at the moment the weight is all at the back. I gave up using this thing because it only really made the train even move when it was turned all the way up. So I don't know whether this is too much of a... Is it a logarithmic pot? I didn't think it was. I thought it was linear. Or maybe it's just not enough battery power. The 2 AAs flat out are only just enough to drive it round. So perhaps if I had 4 AAs, this would be worthwhile. Anyway, I'll find something else to use this for at some point. So the pilot train has gone from being computer controlled to being speed controlled to just being on and off, but at least it's got a light. And the body is... well, it's rough and ready, but it's getting there. Anywho, enough for now.